Muchas gracias, Presidenta. Para efectos de mejor entender, y voy a dirigirme a los distinguidos invitados en idioma inglés, de manera que podamos hacerlo más eficientemente y en menos tiempo. It is a pleasure for me to greet and to welcome to Peru Mrs. Kathleen Roussel, who is chair of the OECD Working Group on Bribery in international business transactions. So welcome to her and also to the distinguished members of the delegation. I am chair of the committee to oversee the activities of the executive branch of Peru to incorporate Peru into the OECD. So we see the congressional part of the incorporation process in terms of fiscalization of the efforts of the government of Peru. Bribery in commercial international transactions by OECD qualifies that as a felony that is produced when gratifications are provided to foreign officials and Peruvian officials as well to participate in international commercial transactions. There is a convention that OECD has developed in order to combat this felony. Now, among the different measures, we have, of course, to punish the people that are responsible with proportionate penalties and take care of the goods that have become part of the bribery process, to impose monetary sanctions, and of course civil and administrative sanctions that may pertain. So first and foremost, I would like to talk about a bill, a law project or a bill, which is specifically number 8040/2023-CR, which has been presented by Congressman Wilson Soto. He proposes a constitutional reform that seeks to reorganize the the National Board of Justice, or Junta Nacional de Justicia, and also to reorganize the Attorney General's Office, or Ministerio Público. The main aim of this constitutional reform project is to fortify the system of justice and to restore the confidence of the citizen in the system of justice. So this law, this constitutional reform, would declare in reorganization the National Board of Justice and the Public Ministry, or the Prosecutor's Office, as it's called here. So the idea is to modify Article 154 of our Constitution, specifically in part number 2 of the Constitution. And that regulates the functions of the National Board of Justice in the naming, ratification, and sanctions of both judges and prosecutors. So the idea is that via this proposal, the current members of the National Board of Justice will cease in their functions when this constitutional reform takes place. There will be a reorganization committee composed of ex-presidents of the Constitutional Tribunal, which will assume temporary basis the functions of the National Board of Justice and will name new members via invitation and, of course, internal votation. As to the Public Ministry, the Supreme Prosecutors will also cease in their functions, and they will be replaced temporarily by superior prosecutors, actually the older ones, which will be selected by the same commission. So the important thing to state is that to summarize here is that the judicial independence is recognized by the Peruvian Constitution, but in practice, it is not really guaranteed. There are a series of lack of dispositions that expose judges and prosecutors to external pressures that may affect their capacity to decide independently. So, according to what the OECD recommends, we're supposed to take measures to reduce the temporality of judges and prosecutors, which is crucial to make sure that they preserve their impartiality. And in order to do that, we should address the fact that in Peru, for judges, we have what we call supernumerary judges, which are actually provisional judges. And for prosecutors, we have provisional prosecutors. These are just attorneys who have not been part of the justice system before, except by being attorneys at law, and they are incorporated temporarily into the system of justice. But again, this is just temporary, and that is exactly the core of the problem. So in order to address that, we need to change the way judges and prosecutors are named, and also to exert a series of incentives in order to produce better interest by the attorneys in general to be members of the system of justice. So that is a structural problem that we have to address. And also we have, besides the provisionality of judges and prosecutors, we have special proposals of the high-level special committee. It has proposed the creation of a multi-partiary commission or committee that presents a proposal of integral reform of the system of justice in a maximal period of 90 days. This is supposed to correct the deficiencies in the articulation of public policy and to better the institutional coordination to confront organized crime and, in general, crime in general. So, also I'd like to mention that there have been actions against certain members of the past National Board of Justice that have been taken by, with Congress, I'd say, not necessarily by Congress. There are a series of constitutional accusations that have been produced, as the chair of the subcommittee on constitutional accusations has expressed, because of infractions that have taken place presumably during their exercise of their functions. So these actions are a reflection of the crisis of confidence that really confronts the Peruvian system of justice, and they underline the necessity to have profound reforms to restore credibility of the people in these institutions. So in summary, the reform of the system of justice in Peru is an urgent and necessary task. The implementation of the bill 8040/2023-CR, constitutional reform, pardon me, and the recommendations of the OECD are fundamental steps to restore citizen confidence in the institutions of justice. It is crucial that structural reforms take place to take care of problems of independence, of lack of independence, lack of efficiency, and lack of transparency in the judicial system. The high temporality of judges and prosecutors is a problem that compromises their independence. So we're going to address that as a way of following on the steps of the executive branch as to how they are going to coordinate with the people in the justice system to have this become a reality. And I just want to say that respect to the felony of transnational bribery typified in our Article 397/A of our Penal Code penalizes with 5 to 8 years of prison plus monetary incentives or disincentives, let's say, for acts of corruption against foreign officials, and also includes administrative sanctions for companies that are implied in these bribery processes. So with this, I would like to finish my participation by mentioning that in 2 weeks there will be a parliamentary meeting in Paris with the OECD. The representatives of parliaments of the 38 members of the OECD will be present there, plus also representatives of parliaments from those countries that are aspiring to become members of the OECD. Peru is one of them. Unfortunately, the permission to attend this important meeting in 2 weeks has not been granted yet by the Congress of Peru. Only one person has been authorized to travel, and that is not enough. We have been invited by the OECD. We have 3 people that have applied to participate, and we expect to participate in full. That is, the full delegation of 3 congresspersons should participate in such event. Otherwise, it will be nearly impossible to sustain meetings with different working groups by only 1 people. We need at least 3 to compromise it. So this is something that I wanted to take the opportunity to express, because actually the participation in talks about other activities, like for instance health, education, agriculture, science and technology, as well as justice, will be addressed hopefully during the participation of this Peruvian delegation, not yet authorized to travel, in the Paris talks in 2 weeks. Thank you very much.
We can extend an invitation for 3, so...
Oh, no, it's not a problem of the OECD. The OECD has invited 3 delegates, but it is the Peruvian Congress that has authorized only 1. And we cannot do our work with only 3, because we have to face several committees at the same time, several working groups, and 1 person is unable to do that.
I understand. Okay.
So if the trip is going to be made by 3 people or by none, that is the point. It will be unfortunate that nobody travels, but that is the point. It's not a matter of the OECD. We have duly invited us. Thank you.
Okay. I understand that there's cross-party support for the OECD accession, which also is very important given the breadth of the reforms that need to be made.
What type of support?
Cross-party?
Cross-party support in Peru? Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Our committee is totally cross-party.
Yeah,
so it's not a problem of internal politics. It's a problem of administrative politics. It's how to value the participation in meetings in the OECD versus trying to save money for the Congress.
Okay. Yes, I'm just saying I understand that the cross-party support is very important, and so I hope Peru will be able to make the trip.
We have full backup. Yeah, our committee is represented by congresspersons of all colors, political colors. Yes, thank you.